What's up, everybody? Welcome back. So good that you guys are here. If it's your first time here, welcome. This channel is going to be everything about motivation, positivity, love, no negativity here. We're all about positivity, motivation. My goal really is to help people grow if they're struggling in some part of their life and just be better each day, better than yesterday, tomorrow, better than today, and so on and so forth. So if you're joining us for the first time, we are currently reading, or at least I'm currently reading. Hopefully some of you will grab the book and read along. But I'm reading a motivational book. It's called The Power of One More by Ed Milet. And I'm kind of going over each chapter one by one and what I got from it, and just, again, shed some positivity, motivation to anyone who finds this channel and watches these videos. I am currently on chapter 11, which is entitled, let me get that for One More, Impossibility Thinker and Possibility Achiever. Now, there's a lot in that title, but I'm going to really break this down into two parts, right? First and foremost, the topic itself, when I get into it, is a topic that I am almost 100% sure that I discuss in my book called Determined, My Perfect Imperfect Journey, available on Amazon. But it's a topic that I know for a fact I talk about in my book because I talk about it on several different platforms when I do videos. And it is a topic that is so true that it's like you can't even be like, oh, it's made up. Like, there's no way. It is so true. And I'll get to that in 1 second. I want to read the very, very last page of this chapter. And it is a sermon called Strength to Love. And it's by Martin Luther King Jr. And man, what a perfect time to read this. Tomorrow, of course, being MLK Day. But I'm going to read it, and I'll tell you what the chapter itself is about. So this is what the sermon says. One of the great tragedies of life is that men seldom bridge the gulf between practice and profession, between doing and saying. A persistent schizophrenia leaves so many of us tragically divided against ourselves. On the one hand, we proudly profess certain sublime and noble principles, but on the other hand, we sadly practice the very antitheses of these principles. How often are our lives characterized by a high blood pressure of creeds and an anemia of deeds? We talk eloquently about our commitment to the principle of Christianity, and yet our lives are saturated with the practice of paganism. We proclaim our devotion to democracy, but we sadly practice the very opposite of the democratic creed. We talk passionately about peace, and at the same time, we assiduously prepare for war. We make our fervent pleas for the high road of justice, and then we tread unflinchingly the low road of injustice. This strange dichotomy, this agonizing gulf between the ought and the is, represents the tragic theme of man's earthly pilgrimage. Wow, that is strong and so deep. So what the chapter is talking about, and in the last chapter or so, we talked about how your goals need actions. In order to reach your goals, you need actions, right? So we're going to pivot a little bit, right? So you still need the action, but the chapter is saying your actions in life will result in consequences or will result in triumphs. Whatever you do in life will result in what the outcome is. So your current circumstances, your current situation, really the majority of the stuff that we're going through and where we're at in life is because of actions that we took before, right? And we talked in the book again about you can't change your past, right? And if there were actions that have led you to a place where you're not happy, where your circumstances are not what you want them to be or where you want them to be, you now have the opportunity to change and have different actions put in place today to create a better tomorrow and beyond. How I talked about being better every day, 1%, 10% better than you were the day before, so on and so forth, right? But all actions have consequences, right? Good or bad, right? So you are in a place, maybe you're happy, maybe you're not, but it's actions that brought you here, right? We want to talk, about all the things we're going to do, and our future is bright, and all of this stuff that we want, and we want the car, the house, the relationship, we want the six-pack, we want the body, we want the health, we want the wellness. But when we lack action or the correct action to get to it, right? The standards, we talked about that too, right? Having the standards and the actions that meet what you want to do in life, whatever your goal is, then you will be successful, right? Your actions have brought you to where you are. That's just fact, right? And that's just what it is. It doesn't mean it's end all be all, right? It doesn't mean because you're unhappy in how you look, or you're unhappy about your job, or your spirituality, or you're unhappy about the relationship you're in. Like, all of that was created by you, by actions you took. And now you're where you are. And although you can't change the stuff that you've done, you can't change your past, you can change your today, you can change the things you do today to have a better tomorrow, right? So your actions need to match up with what your goals are. Standards have to be high in the actions that you take to reach your goals, and then you will reach goals and you will be in better places in the future. However, if your actions are not of high standard and you don't really care, but you have a goal, right? Everyone has goals, right? For the most part, like, you want to lose 10 pounds, you want to make some more money, right? But if your standards and your actions are not in tuned, if they're not where they need to be, if they're not balancing and they're not strong, your convictions are not strong enough to reach the goals, I guarantee you won't reach the goals. Because we can all say we want this stuff, right? This perfect life, which nothing is perfect, but like in our mind, like, this is what I would love to have, right? But you have to put in the work. You have to have the standards. You have to have the correct thought process and mind frame and associations and people around you, right? This book is chapter by chapter. It's all kind of interconnected. If you look at it the way I'm looking at it now, as I get to chapter 11, everything kind of makes sense. Your thoughts, how you think about things, how strongly do you think about things, how much of a desire do you have for the things that you want, right? How strong is your conviction? How hard do you want to work for? What are your actions? What are your standards in those actions to reach the end result, the end of the GPS line to where you want to be? It's so crazy. As you read this book, you're going to see each chapter, how it intertwines. And the next chapter, I'm sure, without a shadow of a doubt, intertwines as well. Chapter 12 is one more habit. Habit. Let that sink in. And we'll talk about that on the next video. So, yeah, your actions are important. Your actions lead to where you are now. Your actions will lead to where you are tomorrow. Higher standards. Have good thought process. Surround yourself with great people that want to see you succeed. And then just fight hard, work hard, and put those actions into play. And then you will receive the goals that you're seeking. So that's it. Chapter 11, which was the power of one more. And it was a great chapter. So thank you guys for watching. Look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. One more habit. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to y'all soon.